Louisiana versus all y'all. Jarrett Rosa here today with new Live Oak coach Tiras Magee Sr., Denham Springs graduate, uh, Denham Springs assistant coach with Coach Cab and company for the last 5 years, and just in the last couple of days announced that you're the new head coach at Live Oak, district rival, parish rival, all those things. Man, certainly good to see you. Congrats again for the third time on the new gig, and how's everything been going?
Thank you, man. It's good to see you too. Everything's been good, man. I'm blessed. Can't complain. I'm on a high right now. Man, I'm feeling great. I'm just thankful for the opportunity that was presented to me, and I'm looking forward to that challenge. And I'm just elated.
What's it going to be like to trade in the purple and gold and go wear some of that blue? I mean, if we had told young you a few years back that was going to be the role for you at this point and the first head coaching opportunity and all those things, what would that have looked like? And I guess what's that going to be like for a guy that's been so proud of Denham and now is going to have to face him a couple times every year?
That's going to be a little tough. It's a little tough, man. I always said a younger me, if you cut me open, I think I probably bleed purple and gold. I'm a Denham guy through and through. I was, born there, raised there, went to school there. So early on, my whole process and my whole mind thought was to, be there for Denham Springs, build that school up and get that program rolling, much as I can. I just poured everything I had into Denham Springs. And, some people say, when they talk to me, they couldn't find a more loyal guy to Denham Springs than myself. And that's just me believing where I was raised, believing in people around Denham Springs. So it's going to be a little tough to trade that purple and gold in for blue and gold. But, man, I am overly excited to trade that, to wear that blue and gold. I'm already starting to wear some stuff. I met and got a couple pieces. I was like, you got some Eagle stuff that I can put on. So I just want to put my stamp on the program. I want to represent Live Oak the same way I've been representing Denham Springs all my life. I want to pour my heart and soul into that community and into that program. And hopefully we can grow and build something special there. The community is great. They've reached out to me. The staff that I've met so far has been wonderful, man. They've made me feel so welcome to come and be a part of that. I never had plans on being a head coach at this point so soon. But, when this opportunity presented itself, I couldn't pass it up. I had a great time learning under Coach Cab. Man, he's a great mentor, a great person to learn under. He taught me so much about basketball. He taught me so much about being a man, how to handle situations, carry myself in the correct manner. And, always say the right things and, try not to do interviews in paper and say the wrong thing. So those are some things I'm going to miss around him and learning from him. But I paid attention so far, so I feel I'm ready to go now on those things.
You have a background in the area with a lot of youth coaching and training and stuff before the past couple of years even. So you have familiarity with guys that have come up and gone not only to Denham but different schools in the area and certainly are, just being from the area and then additionally being so tapped in as a member of the basketball community, have a really good sense of the program up there. What kind of excited you about the Live Oak job in particular? And obviously it's been one that has had its challenges kind of getting over the hump, that just had a couple of winning seasons back to back just a couple of years ago. But kind of, that's kind of been some of the peaks and then there's been some rougher seasons in between. What kind of excited you about the program and what's your mindset in terms of your outlook on how to put your stamp on the program, where you want to see it be and all of those type of aspects?
The most important thing that really excited me about it is that it's an opportunity for me to kind of guide my own ship. That's my program. So I'm gonna take ownership of it and try to run it and put my stamp on it. And I'll do that by having my guys carry themselves in a proper manner off the floor and on the floor. I want them to be the example around the campus. I want them to be able to follow the rules and not break the rules, and people look at them and know that they're part of my program and that they're going to carry themselves in the correct manner and they're going to do the right thing. On the court, my first and foremost things for them to focus on defense. I still believe defense win championships. So, we're going to get after it defensively. We're going to be well conditioned. We're going to play hard. So, and we're not going to beat ourselves. So, I really expect my program to when they play us, to compete against us and understand that we're not going to beat ourselves. And when they play us, they have to beat us. We're not going to do it ourselves. So, those are some things I'm looking forward to. I'll speak with a few different guys that won championships that I have good relationships with. Jeff Jones, Carlos Sample. I have Coach Cav here. Jonathan out at Zachary. He's done a good job. He's a good friend of mine and a good mentor. So we always have a chance to talk. Derek Jones over at Port Allen is a good friend of mine. So I'll get with some of those guys and Brandon White at Lehigh. So I'll get with some of those guys and we'll talk. And I'll take a little bit probably from each one of those and try to implement into the things that I believe in. And we'll try to go from there. Those guys been there, they've done it before, and I'm not just looking to get that program rolling. I'm looking to build it, and I'm looking for it to be consistent year in and year out on a competitive basis. What really also excited me about that program is, I just driving through the communities, riding around, I see so many kids that's moving in or that has moved into that area. I mean, it's growing leaps and bounds in that area. So I'm pretty sure they'll have players and things like that moving into the area, or younger kids that's excited about basketball and that want to develop. Some of the kids that I dealt with from my AAU program, a lot of them out in that area, and they were very excited about basketball. And when they hired me, knowing my passion for the game, that just took off even more. So a lot of the community is very excited about it. And I feel if I go in there and do the right thing, they'll continue to be excited about it. And I think we can grow. That area, I think, is a hotbed for talent coming up, and I think it'll grow at a rapid pace.
That's awesome. The district you stay in, and so certainly you'll have a lot of familiarity with. You mentioned, I mean, just some of the folks you leave the alma mater and the staff and the kids that you're super familiar with. You mentioned Carlos Sample over at Scotlandville, everything Jonathan and those guys are doing out at Zachary. Walker has been on such a strong run these past few years, including the state championship type competition. And so for you, that familiarity, how tough it is. How do you kind of balance or what's your outlook on knowing the opponents and everything that you're going to face pretty well, but also knowing it's a pretty salty district to get into?
Yeah, it's pretty salty, man. If I had my opinion, I can be a little biased, but I think it's the best district in Louisiana. It's tough, man, and it's going to be fun and challenging. Fun part, I love to learn. So the more I can learn from those guys and how they win and how they run their programs, will be good. The challenging part is I have to compete against them, and I know they, while I may be new to the district or whatever, well, that's not going to stop them from wanting to beat me. So, I'm very familiar with the district. The district is a great district. We have great coaches, and those you mentioned, like Skiro and them, they've done a great job out at Walker. Their program is thriving. They're rolling. So it's going to be interesting, man, but it's going to be fun, and I know it's going to be competitive, and I look forward to it. And the one thing I'll say also is, I understand, man. I've been up at 5 since I got this job. I've been up at 5 in the morning. I used to wonder, why does Coach Cav why is he up so early? Well, I know why now, because you're constantly thinking. I'm thinking, all season workout program. How am I going to deal with the refs, or how am I going to deal with certain situations, and how I'm going to get my guys to have a competitive practice, energized practice, and carry that over to the game. So my mind is in a million different places. I'm just running different scenarios through my head, so it's kind of hard to sleep.
So any time in the last few years where you're thinking, man, Coach Cab's getting a little bit crazy, you're understanding that very quickly.
Yes, very quickly. I'm understanding that.
What's particularly under such crazy circumstances that we've been going through this spring, and now just getting to a point where teams are going to get a chance to get back together, but there's certainly going to be continued interesting circumstances to deal with and approach everything. I mean, how does that affect you getting started? What's kind of your outlook on how to get back into any sort of flow of normalcy, knowing kind of what we're all trying to come back from, just to get to that point?
Yeah, I mean, being that I wasn't with those guys until recently, it's going to be a huge challenge. But I'm looking forward to, hopefully they can let us back in the gym soon. Hopefully I can get with those guys and we can kind of get to doing some conditioning, some on the court stuff, have tryouts for one. So it's going to be a challenge trying to get those guys back. Hopefully those guys been doing some work on their own, though, doing some running and, push-ups or things that they can do at home or like with my son, we've been going on the levee and he's been working out on the levee, running and doing some things like that. So I hope some of those guys still picking up the basketball, still shooting the basketball, still running, and understand that, they're going to have to, still be ready to play even when this pandemic is over.
A lot of times when I talk to recruits who have just made a commitment, I kind of give them an opportunity to introduce themselves or tell a little bit about themselves to the fan base they're going to that people might not yet know. I think most of the Live Oak folk probably have a pretty good sense of you, either know you personally or know of you. But if you had kind of a message to that school community and that area community of the new basketball coach and what you're bringing that we haven't already hit on, just kind of take a second and introduce that.
Yeah, I'm bringing a lot of toughness, a lot of passion for the game, a lot of understanding how players are. I've dealt with a lot of players, like you said, from the youth all the way up, so I understand how they play, how their game may change, and how to implement those things in today's 5A varsity basketball. So we'll look to probably run a little motion offense. We'll run the flex. We'll defend man to man, and I'm trying to instill some toughness in those guys because I still believe I believe defense win games and I believe toughness win games. And with me, they're getting those a guy that's going to, believe in those things and live by those things. But most of all, my passion for the game and my love for the kids and doing things the right way and still believing in doing things the right way is what I'm going to instill in those kids. And hopefully that the community can see with me. See, I'm a fair guy. I don't do favoritism. I love and respect the game too much to do favoritism and political things on the basketball court. The best guys are going to play, and the guys that work the hardest will play. So they're just going to get an honest guy with me, and hopefully that they'll see that throughout my work.
T, certainly appreciate you, man, and good luck with it. I'm looking forward to everything getting back to normal and me getting a chance to come up and see you guys real soon.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me.